ओम गणानां त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पतान् शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनं श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुस्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। Om. Dear friends, we have completed this 15th shloka, that is evam jnatva krutam karma purvairapi mumukshubhihi kuru karmaiva tasmatvam purvaih purvataram krutam. Prior to that, Lord Krishna said namam karmani limpanti name karma phale spruha. So that is where it starts. He said this karma, this action does not stick to me. Namam karmani limpanti. The karma phala, karma means not only action but the result of the action. Karma is having two components. One is action and the other is the result of action. Both are referred to by the same word karma. So namam karmani limpanti, when he says this karma phala does not stick to me. That is karma, I don't get affected by this karma phala. So that is it means. The next shloka he said, Evam jnatva krutam karma purvairapi mumukshubhihi. By knowing this, knowing that you are also equal to me, knowing that you are also in that Brahma stage, knowing that you are nothing other, no other than Brahman. So you do that action so that you will also be not affected by the karma phala. You will also be not affected by this karma phala. What does karma phala do? Karma phala will give you another birth. It will give you some happy birth or it will give you some unhappy birth. So from all these things you will be freed once you know that you are the Brahman. So that is the meaning there. And he also said, I am not telling you something new. This is something which has been done by or performed by all these ancient kings. This long lineage of kings which he was saying, that Rajarshayah, evam Rajarshayo viduhu, all these Rajarshis, they knew, all the while they knew, and then they have been performing this karma yoga in the same manner. And sometimes, he also gave two options. One, had they been Jnanis, if they were really Jnanis, then they were doing it for Loka Sangraha. If they were not Jnanis, if you assume that they were not Jnanis, then they were doing for their own Chitta Shuddhi. So that is what he was clarifying. In continuation, he is saying this thing. We have completed this 15th shloka. Let us read this avatarika for the 16th shloka. That is introduction. Tatra karma chet kartavyam tvad-vachanadeva karomyaham. Not tat, tvad. No, not tat. Tvad-vachanadeva. Oh, your book says tat.
No. Tvad-vachanadeva karomi aham.
Okay, kim visheshitena purvaih purvataram krutam ityuchyate yasmat mahad vaishamyam karmani katham. Okay, he says, okay, you are saying you do karma. I will do karma on your word. You just command me, I will do word. Then where is the need to tell that all these old long lineage of kings, they were all doing it. Karma chet kartavyam, if I have to do karma, tvad vachanadeva karomyaham. Tvad vachanadeva, by your mere order, by your mere word, I am going to perform that karma. Kim visheshitena, why to qualify? You are qualifying it by saying purvaih purvataram krutam. All these ancient people, all these people, they also performed this karma. So why say quote their examples by your own word? I will do it. So that is what he was saying, that he is saying. Purvaih purvataram krutam ityuchyate. So Shankaracharya is just anticipating a small doubt or shanka on the part of Arjuna. And then because of that, Lord Krishna is explaining further. Kim yasmat mahad vaishamyam karmani. Karmani means in this. Oh, now power is gone. Internet is it working? Internet is working. Okay. Yasmad mahad vaishamyam karmani. So there is a lot of contradiction in this karma. How? Katham? How? Let us read this shloka. Kim karma kima karmeti kavayopyatra mohitaha
कवयोऽप्यत्र मोहिताः
तत्ते कर्म प्रवक्ष्यामि
तत्ते कर्म प्रवक्ष्यामि
यज्ञात्वा मोक्ष्यसे अशुभात्.
यज्ञात्वा मोक्ष्यसे शुभात्.
Fine. Kim karma kimakarmeti kavayopyatra mohitaha. Okay, you may be having a doubt as to why I am telling so much about this karma, why I am saying that all these ancient kings, they were doing it, and then I am also urging you to do that same karma. You may have some such doubt, you may be entertaining some such doubt, but I am telling you, even great people, they were deluded in knowing or in clearly say identifying as to what is karma and what is akarma, because there is a lot of confusion regarding this. So that is what he is saying. Kim karma, what is action? Kim akarma, what is non-action, not inaction, non-action. Kim karma, kim akarmeti, what is action and what is not an action. Iti, in this subject, Kavayaha api atra mohitaha. Kavayopyatra is Kavayaha api plus atra. Kavayopyatra. Kavayaha api atra mohitaha. Kavayaha. What is a kavi? Usually by the word kavi we mean a poet. Kavi, actually we mean a poet. But this word kavi is very frequently used in the Vedic say literature. In the Vedic literature, Kavayaha, kavi. Kavihi Kranta Darshi. Kavi is referred to as a person who is a Kranta Darshi. Kranta means that which has gone by. So that means he is a person who knows the past. Not that he is a historian or anything like that. He understands the passage of time. He understands the change in the time. He understands how human behavior, what is human behavior, the unchanging human behavior in the changing times, all these things he understands. In fact, there is a mantra in Rigveda, that Rigveda mantra says, Kalo Ashvo Vahati Saptarashmihi Tam Arohanti Kavayo Vipaschitaha. Kavayaha Vipaschitaha. These wise kavis, all these kavi, these great wise men, kavi, okay, simply we can understand kavi means a wise man. A wise man who knows human nature, who knows, say, the passage of time and the social change and whatnot, the change, and then he understands how he also knows how to, say, interpret dharma even to the changing time. I am going to come to that. Kavayaha Vipaschitaha. Kalaha Ashva Vahati Sapta Rashmihi. Here, Kala is time. Time is referred to a horse. This horse, again, this Kala is also compared to Surya. The Surya, he is the one man who is moving. Continuously he is on the move. Lord, the sun god, he is one who is continuously on the move. He is called Kala, the time. He is also compared to an Ashwa. Ashwa is horse. The word very Ashwa also means there is something. Shvaha means tomorrow. Ashvaha, there is no tomorrow, just moving and moving. So Ashvaha, Vahati Sapta Rashmihi. So Lord Sun is riding on that horse. Tam Arohanti Kavayo Vipaschitaha. These kavis, all these wise men, they also get onto that horse and move. So they are the people who understand kalam. They are the people who understand the time. They are the people who understand the passage of time and also the human nature. So that is what it means. Kavi has a special significance in the Vedic literature. Kavi means a wise person, say a Medhavi, that is what Shankaracharya is going to say. And then if you see this particular line from Rigveda, he is the person who understands the human nature properly. So Kavayaha Atra Mohitaha. Mohitaha means Moham Gataha. Those who have been deluded. They also, even wise men, they get confused rather. They get confused in knowing what is action and what is non-action. Tat te karma pravakshyami. That means that te, to you, karma pravakshyami. I am going to say. Vakshyami, future tense. Pravakshyami. Yat gnatva mokshyase ashubhat. By knowing which, you will be released or you will be liberated from all this Ashubha. Ashubha means something which is inauspicious. What is inauspicious? Having a rebirth either as a good birth or a bad birth, and that continuing cycle, and you are never liberated. So that is what is called Ashubha. That is something which is undesirable. That is something which is inauspicious. So from all these undesirable things, you will be liberated. So that is the meaning of this shloka. Kim karma, kim akarma iti. Kavayah api atra mohitaha. Atra means in this context or in this particular issue. In this particular issue, even wise men, they are also deluded. Tat te karma pravakshyami yat jnatva ashubhat mokshyase. From this ashubhat, from this inauspicious cycle of samsara, you will be liberated. Okay, let us read this bhashyam. Kim karma,
किं कर्म
kim cha akarma iti,
किं च अकर्म इति
kavayah medhavinaha
कवयः मेधाविनः
api
अपि
atra
अत्र
अस्मिन् कर्मादि विषये
अस्मिन् कर्मादिविषये
मोहिताः मोहं गताः
मोहिताः मोहं गताः
अतः ते तुभ्यम्
अतः ते तुभ्यम्
अहं
अहं
कर्म अकर्म च
कर्म अकर्म च
प्रवक्ष्यामि
प्रवक्ष्यामि
यत् ज्ञात्वा विदित्वा
यद् ज्ञात्वा विदित्वा
कर्मादि
कर्मादि
मोक्ष्यसे अशुभात् संसारात्.
मोक्ष्यसे अशुभात् संसारात्.
So in one line the commentary is finished. That is kim karma kim cha akarma iti. What is karma? What is that is action and what is non-action? In this matter, kavayah medhavinaha. Medhavi is one who has medha. Medha is buddhi. One who has buddhi is a medhavi. So medhavinaha api atra means asmin karmadi vishaye. Atra means in this vishaya. Asmin karmadi vishaya means in this say issue, on this issue called karma. In this thing, mohitaha moham gataha. Ataha, therefore, te to you, tubhyam, te means tubhyam to you, aham karma akarma cha pravakshyami. I am going to tell you what is karma, what is and what is akarma. Yat gnatva, that is by knowing which. Yat gnatva means by knowing which. Viditva means knowing, after knowing which. Karmadi, this karmadi viditva, this karma etc. If you know that, mokshyase ashubhat samsarat. From this ashubha samsara, from this inauspicious, undesirable say samsara. Samsaranam is, you know, what is samsaranam? Samsaranam is the transmigration from birth to another death and then from the another birth and another birth. That is samsaranam. Okay. Next line. Nacha etat tvaya mantavyam
एतत् त्वया मन्तव्यं
karmanama dehadicheshta
कर्मनाम देहादिचेष्टा
लोकप्रसिद्धं
लोकप्रसिद्धम्
अकर्म तदक्रिया
अकर्म तदक्रिया
तूष्णीम् आसनं
तूष्णीम् आसनं
किं तत्र
किं तत्र
बोद्धव्यमिति.
बोद्धव्यम् इति.
Okay, so he is saying, he is anticipating, some Shankaracharya is anticipating a doubt on our part, the doubt on the part of the say readers. What is that? Nacha etat tvaya mantavyam. You should not think like this. You should not think so. Nacha etat tvaya mantavyam means you should not think so. How he is going to say? Karma nama dehadi chesta. Karma, by karma what do we understand? Action. We are sitting here. I am saying something and you are listening something. Then after this you go and do some other karma. After that you go and do some other action. So this is all the karma which is done by the body, mind. Your mind also is associated. Sometimes mind may not be associated, but body is there. So the mind and the body, they are doing certain things. So this is what is meant by karma. So what is so great, what is so big about it, what is there to understand? Karma nama dehadi chesta loka prasiddham. It is well known to everyone. Loka prasiddham is that which is well known to everything. Prasiddham, you know, prasiddham is very well known. Loka prasiddham, it is well known to everyone. Then akarma tad akriya. Akarma means just sitting quiet. You are say you have come to office. Instead of coming to office, you stay at home. Instead of doing something else, you just keep quiet. So that is tushnim asanam. Tushnim means just simply without doing anything. Tushnim asanam means to stay. Asanam asadhatu. Asanam means to stay. Tushnim asanam tad akriya. Akriya means not doing anything and just keeping silent. Kim tatra bodhavyam. What is there to know in it? What is there to learn about it? So that is the meaning. Nacha ayatat tvaya mantavyam. You should not think like that. You should not think that. You should not be under the impression as to what is there to know. Karma means doing something. The body and mind will be doing something. And then akarma means not doing anything. So what is so big about it? So you should not think like that. Kasmat, why, uchyate. Let us read this shloka. Karmano hyapi bodhavyam बोद्धव्यं च विकर्मणः
बोद्धव्यं च विकर्मणः
अकर्मणश्च बोद्धव्यम्
अकर्मणश्च बोद्धव्यं
गहना कर्मणो गतिः.
गहना कर्मणो गतिः.
You are having power in that thing?
Yes.
Sound and all that is okay. So here कर्मणः अपि बोद्धव्यं बोद्धव्यं च विकर्मणः अकर्मणश्च बोद्धव्यं गहना कर्मणो गतिः. He is using three words. What is karma? Then vikarma. Then akarma. He is using three words. We need not get confused by it. There is nothing very complicated about it. Karmanaha api bodhavyam. Karma. We have to know something relating to karma. Something from this karma, from the word karma, we have to know something. Bodhavyam cha vikarmanaha. By the word vikarma also we have to know something. Then akarmanascha bodhavyam. And you have to know something about inaction also. Not inaction, sorry, non-action. Non-action also we have to know. Then bodhavyam gahana karmano gatihi. Gahana means very deep. Gahana. There is something which is deep, which is rather inscrutable, very difficult to understand, very difficult to get into. So that is Gahana. Gahana karmano gatihi. The path of karma is something which is very deep, which is rather complicated, which is difficult to understand. So that is what he says. Karmanaha api bodhavyam. Karmanaha is in Panchami Vibhakti. From karma you have to learn something. Bodhavyam means you have to know. You have to learn something. Bodhavyam cha vikarmanaha. From this vikarma you have to learn something. This vikarmanaha also is in Panchami Vibhakti. Then akarmanascha bodhavyam. From this akarma also you have to know something. Because gahana karmano gatihi. Then what is this karma, vikarma and akarma? It simply means karma means action. Then vikarma is that is which is prohibited action. And whenever we say karma, you have to remember two things. In the last class, I think I said, I sent one, what is this, slide also. You can put that slide. What does that slide say? I don't have a copy. What does it say? Please read out that slide. I don't have.
Slide 1. Karma, activity seen but no actor. That is absence of I feeling. That is no doership. Example, saintly kings like Janaka and others.
Okay, I will put it that way. Okay. Anyway, that is, you please keep showing it.
Okay.
Then I will ask you to read again if necessary. So karma, simply speaking, there are two things in karma. Karma means, is it shown here also?
No.
Okay. Karma means there is an activity. There is an activity which is seen. Plus there is an actor. Actor is somebody who may be having that I feeling, or he may be somebody who is not having that I feeling. So he may be a jnani in that state of Brahman. A jnani who is in that Brahmi sthiti, who is in the state of Brahman, who realizes that he is nothing other than Brahman. So he is there, but he is physically there, but then he does not have that I feeling. There is an action and there is an actor. There is no need for any confusion in this. Karma means there are two things. There is an activity. I am doing this, I am teaching something, or you are doing something. But then you may be a jnani. If you are a jnani, then you are not having that I feeling. You don't feel, you are not feeling that I am doing this. Somebody else may be doing it. We have seen that earlier also. We have seen in earlier shloka, Saktah karmanya vidvamso yatha kurvanti bharata kuryad vidvans tatha asaktah chikirshur lokasangraham. A wonderful shloka we read earlier in that third chapter. Saktah karmanya vidvamsaha. Avidvamsaha, the unwise people, just as they just get attached to karma, and with all enthusiasm and with all eagerness they go about doing some action with that great feeling, I am doing this is my achievement, I have done this, I have achieved this. So likewise, with the same zeal and enthusiasm, but without that sense of I, you please do that. Saktaha karmani avidvamsaha yatha kurvanti bharata kuryad vidvans tatha. With the same zeal and enthusiasm, the vidwan also does. But asaktaha, He is not attached to that. He is not having that feeling of I. So that is what we read. Similar slokas also are there. But that is a beautiful sloka. That's why immediately I told. So like that, in karma, there are two components. One is an activity and an actor who is physically present. But one man may be mentally present. Mentally means with that I feeling he may be present, and another man may be present without that I feeling. So in the case of a man who is thinking that I am the doer, that becomes karma. In the case of a person who is not having that I feeling, he is in that Brahma Bhava, but still he is acting. Still he is very busy. He is doing all things just like the other one. Just like the other one, he is also doing. So in his case, that is called akarma. So because this akarma or non-action is something which is not going to stick to him. That karma phala is not going to stick to him. This we have seen several times earlier. Again and again I am saying. Karma means that is the karma phala is sticking to you. Akarma means where karma phala is not sticking to you. Then vikarma is used only once in the entire Gita. Vikarma means something which is a prohibited action. There is nothing very serious about it. Vikarma is something, anyway we are not concerned with this prohibited action. Nishiddha karma. Nishiddha is something which has been prohibited. So is there any second line?
Yeah, akarma is there.
Yeah. Akarma, please read out.
Akarma, no activity seen, but presence of I feeling.
That is in the case of a karma.
Yeah. And
anyway, you can leave it.
No activity seen, but presence of I feeling. That is, actor is there, but that is doership. Actor is there, that is doership.
No, that is, actor is there, that is, you are, okay, this is something which is rather, it is put in a different way, it may again confuse you. It is, probably when I wrote it, I have put it in a different way. But leave it like that. So karma, you understand, let us see that karma is something where the feeling of I is there. Akarma is a situation where that feeling of I is not there. Kim karma kim akarmeti kavayopyatra mohitah, that is over. Karmano hyapi bodhavyam cha vikarmanah. Akarmanascha bodhavyam gahana karmano gatihi. Let us read this bhashyam. Karmanah shastra vihitasya hi yasmat apyasti bodhavyam bodhavyam cha astyeva vikarmanah pratishiddhasya तथा अकर्मणश्च तूष्णीं भावस्य बोद्धव्यमस्ति इति त्रिष्वपि अध्याहारः कर्तव्यः यस्मात् गहना विषमा दुर्ज्ञाना कर्मणः इत्युपलक्षणार्थं कर्मादीनां कर्म अकर्म विकर्मणां गतिः याथात्म्यं तत्वम् इत्यर्थः. Okay, karma he is explaining shastra vihitasya. You can remove that slide.
Yeah, I can remove it.
Okay.
There is one more slide, second slide.
No, maybe I have put it in a slightly different way there, you leave it. Because again I have to go into that, say from another point of view I have to explain it. We will leave it. Karmanah shastra vihitasya hi yasmat. Karma is what? Shastra vihitam. That which has been prescribed. Vihitam means vidhi. Vidhi is a prescription. Vihitam is that which has been prescribed. Shastra vihitasya hi means yasmat, because api asti bodhavyam. Bodhavyam is something which has to be known. So there is something to be known from this karma which is shastra vihitam. Then similarly, bodhavyam cha vikarmanah, bodhavyam cha astyeva vikarmanah. From this vikarma also there is something to know. Vikarma means what? Pratishiddhasya, that which is prohibited. About this prohibited action we are supposed to know, and in what situation or in what condition this karma is going to be say giving out that karma phala, that also we are supposed to know. Tatha likewise akarmanasya, that is tushneem bhavascha. So here this akarma, it is used as tushnim bhava. Tushnim bhava is just to remain silent. Tushnim bhava is tushnim means just without doing anything. Tushnim bhava tasyapi bodhavyam asti iti trishvapi adhyahara. In all this trishvapi adhyahara means bodhavyam cha vikarmanaha, vikarmanascha bodhavyam. This word bodhavyam has to be applied to all these three things. That is karma, it has to be applied. Then vikarma, it has to be applied, and akarma also it has to be applied. This bodhavya means one has to know. One has to know about karma, one has to know about vikarma, one has to know about akarma. Akarma here it is tushnim bhava, by not doing anything, just not doing anything. But then he is under the feeling or he is thinking that I am not doing anything. A person, you imagine a person who is not doing anything, but at the same time he is thinking I am not doing anything. A person is there who is simply not doing anything, but then he is also having that I feeling. He is having that I feeling, I am not doing anything. Then what is it? How do you describe his activity? Do you call it as karma or akarma?
It's karma. I feeling is there.
The I feeling is there, so that becomes karma only. So long as you have that I feeling, it has to be qualified as karma. Tushnim bhava. From that tushnim bhava also there is an I feeling. Then trishvapi adhyahara kartavyaha yasmat gahana vishama. Vishama means something which is rather difficult or complicated. Durjnana means difficult to know. Karmanaha iti upalakshanartham. This karma, it is suggested. The word karma indicates all the three words called karma, akarma and vikarma. Then karmadinam karma akarma vikarmanam gatihi yathatmyam tattvam ityartha. In the last line, gahana karmano gatihi means that it is very difficult to know the nature of karma. It is very difficult to know the nature of karma means that word karma, it applies to all the three things, that is karma, vikarma and akarma. So that is what it means. Karmadinam karma akarma vikarmanam gatihi yathatmyam tattvam ityartha. So, have you understood the overall meaning of this shloka?
Yes.
The overall meaning of this shloka is, there is something to be known about this karma. There is something to be known about akarma. In akarma, he has used in two senses. Akarma, say in the case of a jnani, whatever he does is not at all karma. But here again, he is also using in a different sense. In the bhashyam, he says, akarmanaha tushnim bhavasya. Just keeping quiet. He is just keeping quiet, but at the same time he is in that feeling of I. So long as you have that feeling of I, you are an actor. That karma phala sticks to you. Then vikarma is, we need not bother about it, because vikarma, that prohibited action, nobody is going to do. Then the last line says, the nature of karma is very difficult. When he says the nature of karma is very difficult, that the word karma has to apply to, it has to refer to all the three things, that is karma, vikarma and akarma. The nature of karma, akarma and vikarma is rather difficult to understand. So that is how the word karma has to be understood in all the three levels. Then yathatmyam tattvam ityartha. Okay, next line. Kim punaha तत्वं कर्मादेः यत् बोद्धव्यं वक्ष्यामि इति प्रतिज्ञातम् इत्युच्यते. ओके, किं पुनः तत्वं कर्मादेः. What is the nature? Tattvam means nature. What is the nature or what is the reality of this karma, etc. Yat bodhavyam vakshyami iti pratignatam, which you are saying, that you are going to say. Which you are pratignatam means which you are proclaiming, which you are proclaiming that there is something to be known from that. What is the nature of that karma which you are proclaiming that there is something to be known from that pratignatam. Karmadehe bodhavyam vakshyami iti pratignatam ityuchyate. Let us read this shloka. Karmanyakarmayah pashyet akarmani cha karmayah स बुद्धिमान मनुष्येषु स युक्तः कृत्स्नकर्मकृत्. Okay, so this is an important shloka which we have to understand. That is, karmani akarma yaha pashyet. So while doing karma, you have to see akarma. That is what it means. I will explain. While doing karma, you have to see akarma. Then akarmani cha karma yaha. In non-action, you have to see karma. In non-action, you have to see, in say akarma, in say non-action, you have to do karma. Then sabuddhiman manushyeshu, one who is capable of seeing this, he is yukta. He is a yukta. Yukta means yoga yukta. He is a karma yogi. Whenever you use the word yogi in Gita, yogi means karma yogi. Yukta krutsna karma krut. He is the one who is deemed to have performed all actions. Krutsna karma krut. Krutsna means the whole, entire. He is deemed to be the one who has done all actions. Krutsna karma krut. Krut is one who does. Karma krut, one who does karma. Krutsna karma krut, one who does, one who performs all karmas. So let us see what it means. Karmani akarma yaha pashyet. Karmani. In karma, you have to see akarma. So in karma, you have to see akarma means, Shankaracharya is going to give one example. Na kunde badarani va he is going to say. In a vessel, I am seeing some fruits, let us say. In a vessel, there is a vessel. In this vessel, I am seeing some fruits. So which means this vessel is some sort of adharam. It is a sort of base. It is a sort of a support. It is some sort of say locus, let us say. In this locus, I am seeing some fruits, isn't it? So this akarma is something which is located in this say vessel. So we should not imagine like that. So that is what he says. Shankaracharya is going to say that you are not supposed to understand this as something like a kunde badarani. Kunde means some vessel. You are keeping some fruits. You are not supposed to think like that. Karmani akarma yaha pashyet. Akarmani cha karma yaha. So how then we have to understand it? Just now I said, while doing karma, karmani means while doing karma, akarma yaha pashyet. That is, one has to realize that he is not the actor. One has to know that he is not the actor. Then whatever he is doing is akarma. Whatever he does, it becomes akarma. Automatically it becomes akarma. You are doing an action, but then you are withdrawing that I from that. You are withdrawing that I from that, and then whatever you do, it becomes an akarma. It becomes a non-action. So you may be doing something, that kriya is there, that activity is there, but you are not there. You means that I feeling is not there. So karmani akarma yaha pashyet. So you are a person who is seeing. Karmani yaha pashyet means you may be doing karma, but then you are not having that feeling of I. So then that is the situation described in that karmani akarma yaha pashyet. Then akarmani cha karma yaha. And simply tushnim bhavaha. You may be sitting silent. But then you say somebody who is keeping silent, but then he is conscious that he is not doing anything. He is conscious that yes, I am not doing anything. I am doing some protest. Let us say some protest. You are going and doing some satyagraha. He is not doing anything. But then he is sending a message. He is sending a message across that he is protesting, and then it is something like that. So like somebody sitting there, not doing anything, but at the same time, his protest or his keeping silent, it is conveying a big message to everybody. So akarmanicha karma. So a person who is sitting quiet, but at the same time who is having a feeling that I am not doing anything, then that becomes karma only, because that feeling is there, that I feeling, that ego, aham kara is there. Then sabuddhiman manushyeshu, a person who is able to see like this, he is a wise man. Manushyeshu means among people. He is a wise man. Sayuktaha, he is a yogi. Then krutsna karma krut. The krutsna karma krut is one who is competent to do everything, one who is deemed to have done everything. Actually, let us see how Shankaracharya says krutsna karma krut, how he is going to explain. Krusna karma krutu samasta karma krutcha, it is just tuyate karmacharman. Okay. So he says Krusna karma kruti, one who is deemed to have done every action. So let us read this bhashyam. Have you this shloka, the general meaning, have you understood?
Yes.
Karmani akarma yah pasyet. While doing karma, you are not having that feeling of ahankara. Then while a person who is maybe simply sitting silent, but then if that ahankara is there, it becomes karma. So that which means akarma, in akarma you have to see karma. Yah pashyet, one who is capable of seeing that, he is a person who is a buddhiman. He is the one among all people, he is a wise man. Then sayuktaha, he is the one who is a karma yogi, one who is established in karma yoga, yuktaha. Then krutsna karma krut. Okay, let us read this bhashyam. Karmani
कर्मणि
karma kriyate iti vyapara matram.
कर्म क्रियते इति व्यापारमात्रं
Tasmin
तस्मिन्
karmani
कर्मणि
akarma karmabhavam
अकर्म कर्माभावं
yah pashyet.
यः पश्येत्
Karmani cha
कर्मणि च
karmabhave
कर्माभावे
कर्तृतंत्रत्वात्
कर्तृतन्त्रत्वात्
प्रवृत्ति निवृत्त्योः
प्रवृत्तिनिवृत्त्योः
वस्तु अप्राप्यैव हि
वस्तु
अप्राप्यैव हि सर्व एव
सर्व एव
क्रियाकारकादि व्यवहारः
क्रियाकारकादिव्यवहारः
अविद्याभूमावेव
अविद्याभूमा एव
भूमावेव
भूमौ एव
ओके भूमावेव is santi कर्म यः पश्येत्
कर्म यः पश्येत्
पश्यति
पश्यति
okay we will stop because this line is very long. There is a big parenthesis also here. There is a big parenthesis. In English we call it parenthesis. So in Sanskrit also you find the same parenthesis. You know what is a parenthesis? Suppose I say Rama, there is a long dash is there. Rama, who is the king of Ayodhya, again another dash, went to forest. So something like that. So Rama, who is the prince of Ayodhya, let us not king. Rama, who was the prince of Ayodhya, went to forest. So something like that. There is a parenthesis. You put a dash here and you put another dash, and in between the dash you have a passage. There is a description. Then Rama went to the forest is the line. Rama went to forest is the line. Who is the king of Ayodhya? Who is the prince of Ayodhya? Husband of Sita, and many other things you can add there. So something like that, a parenthesis is here which we have to see. Say, let us see this line. Karmani. So karma kriyate iti vyapara matram. Karma, what is this meaning of karma? Kriyate. That which is done, which is performed, whatever is performed is karma. Vyapara matram. Vyapara means not business. In Telugu, when we say vyapara, we refer to it as business, not business. Vyapara matra means just activity, mere activity. So as I was saying, in karma there is an activity and an actor. Activity and an actor. So vyapara matra means there is just mere activity. Vyapara means activity. So karmani means karma is what? Kriyate iti vyapara matram. Tasmin, that is in that karmani. Akarma, karma bhavam, yaha pashyet, the one who sees karma bhavam. That is what, how can he see karma bhavam? It is only when that ahankara is not there, he is seeing that karma bhava. When ahankara is not there, when that feeling of I is not there, he is seeing that karma abhavam. Abhava, abhava means absence. Absence of karma. While doing karma, you see the absence of karma. So that is it. Karma bhavam yah pashyet. Then the second thing is karmanicha, karma bhave, then pashyet akarmanicha. Akarmani means in that absence of karma, you have to see karma. In absence of karma, you have to see karma. Then in this parenthesis, the parenthesis is from kartrutantratvat, starting from kartrutantratvat, avidya bhuma veva, up to that point is parenthesis. There will be, if there is no dash, you please keep a dash. Say karma bhave, after karma bhave, you please keep a dash. Kartrutantratvat, from there the parenthesis starts and ends with avidya bhuma veva. So let us see this, what is there in the parenthesis. In the parenthesis, he is describing what is karma. What is the nature of karma is described in this long parenthesis. Kartrutantratvat pravrutti nivruttyoho. Then pravrutti and nivrutti, we know. Pravrutti is engagement in action. Nivrutti is disconnecting oneself from action, not doing anything. Pravrutti and nivrutti we know. Pravrutti marga and nivrutti marga we know. Nivrutti at a higher level is that sannyasa. Pravrutti is getting engaged in action. He is not using this word in that, that sense of, sannyasa here. He is using in the ordinary sense only. Here, these words pravrutti and nivrutti, They are used in ordinary dictionary sense, not in the sense of nivrutti. Nivrutti means sannyasa normally, but here it is not used in that sense. Kartru tantratvat pravrutti nivruttyoho means pravrutti and nivrutti, that is getting engaged in action and getting disengaged from action or not doing anything. This is something which is kartru tantram. Kartru tantram means it is something which is in the volition of the karta, which is in the volition of the doer. It depends on the doer. If the doer, if I want to do a thing, I will do. If I don't want to do a thing, I will not do. It is under my control. It is in my volition. So kartru tantratvat, because it is in my volition. Kartru tantratvat is a Shastra language. Shastra language, in fact, it should mean pravrutti, nivrutti, kartru tantre, it should mean. That is, pravrutti and nivrutti, they depend on the karta, they depend on the doer. So here, because it depends on the doer, so that is a Shastra language, kartru tantratvat. Pravrutti and nivrutti, that is engagement in action and not getting engaged in action, is something which is dependent on you. If you want to come to office, you can come today. If you don't want to come to office, you need not come. So that is, it is left to you. It is under your control. Then vastu aprapyaiva hi sarve eva kriyakarakaadi vyavaharaha avidya bhumaveva. Here again we have to see certain things. Sarva kriyakarakaadi vyavaharaha avidya bhumaveva. Avidya bhumi, that is at the level of avidya. Bhumi, I have told earlier also, bhumi does not mean earth. Bhumi does not mean earth. Bhumi means a level. Saptavida yoga bhumayaha. There are 7 levels of yoga bhumikas. Bhumi and bhumika are one and the same. Bhumika is a level. Yoga bhumi, that is a particular level in a particular say stage in that yoga, let us say. In yoga sadhana, there are so many stages. Say Shubhecha, that is the first stage. Basically the desire to know. The desire to know and desire to come on to the right path, that itself is the first level. Because many people will not even have that desire. So when you have a Shubhecha, then you go to a teacher, that is the next level. So like that there are certain stages where you slowly, gradually attain that the final level. So like that, avidya bhumi. What is this avidya bhumi? That level of ignorance. And in this level of ignorance, sarva eva kriya karakadi vyavaharaha. All this kriya, karaka, all this vyavahara. Kriya and karaka. These are the two terms which are used in grammar also. Kriya, we know what is kriya. Kriya is a verb. Kriya means action, and also in grammar you denote it by the word verb. Karakam. Karakam is again another word which is used in grammar. What is that? Karakam is a thing which describes the relation between a noun with other say things in a sentence, with all other subjects which are discussed in a sentence. The relationship between a noun and the thing which is described in the sentence. If you want an example, okay, Rama is eating a fruit, let us say. Rama is the person who is the karta, he is the doer. Then what is he doing? He is eating a fruit. Then Rama is what? He is said to be in the nominative case. In grammar, it is said to be in the nominative case. I am just naming or just nominating that Rama is somebody. There is no, that word is not changed. He is the one who is just being designated as somebody who is doing something. Rama is a king. Rama is being designated, or he is being pointed out, or he is being shown as somebody who is so and so, or who is doing something else. Then I say, I worship Rama, or I am looking at Rama. Aham Ramam Pashyami. There the word undergoes a change. Ramaha becomes Ramam. Aham Ramam Pashyami. I am seeing Rama. So there that word Rama is in a different case. It is what is called accusative case. Dvitiya vibhakti. In Sanskrit we call it Dvitiya vibhakti. Then say that is Aham Ramam Pashyami is in Dvitiya vibhakti. Then suppose I say it is done by Rama. Ramena Krutam, let us say. First is Ramaha, then is Ramam is Dvitiya vibhakti, Ramena is Tritiya vibhakti, it is called by Rama. When it comes, it is called Tritiya vibhakti. Then Ramaya Lekhinim Dadami. I am giving this lekhini, this pen to Rama, let us say. Ramaya, that is Sampradana. Trutiya Vibhakti and then Sampradana Vibhakti. Sampradane Chaturthi, it is called Chaturthi Vibhakti. So this is called, this Vibhakti, what you call Vibhakti or Karaka. Karaka, as I said, is the relationship between a noun with other aspects which are there in a sentence. So that is Karaka. So this Kriya and Karaka, all this Vyavahara. Vyavahara is some transaction. Vyavahara is transaction. All this Kriya and Karaka, all this transaction is in the level of Avidya. Avidya is ignorance. Any problem there? What have you forgotten? So is it on or not? So okay, Kriya Karakadi Vyavaharaha Sarvopi Avidya Bhuma Eva. Sarvaha Kriya Karakadi Vyavahara. All this Vyavahara, all this transaction called Kriya, Karaka and all these things, they are at the level of ignorance only. Then when does it happen? Vastu aprapyaiva. If you see the sentence, Kartrutantratvad pravritti nivrityoho vastu aprapyaiva hi vastu aprapyaiva. Vastu here means refers to the Paramartha Vastu. So long as you do not understand the Paramartha Vastu, so long as you do not understand that supreme thing, Vastu is something which is an object. That Paramartha Vastu means that supreme object. What is that supreme object? That is Brahman. That supreme object, so long as you do not see that supreme object, so long as you do not realize that supreme object, you are engaged in so many activities. I am doing this, I am doing this thing, I am doing this thing. Then there is a karta, there is a karakam. You are becoming the subject sometime, you are being the object sometimes, you are in sampradana karaka sometime, you are in apadana karaka sometime. So this karaka, kriya and karaka keeps on changing. And then they say you are busy in so many types of activities. So all these kriya, karaka, vyavahara, all these transactions relating to the subject, all these transactions relating to, I gave the example of Rama. I am seeing Rama, he is in the accusative case, Ramayana Krutam, that is in the Trutiya Vibhakti, then Ramaya Dadami, that is in the Chaturthi Sampradana Vibhakti. So all this Vyavahara is at the level of Avidya, is all at the level of ignorance, that is all at the level of, say, Ajnana, so long as I think that I am the doer. So that is the meaning here. So have you understood this parenthesis? Kartrutantratvat pravritti nivrityoho means this engagement in action or not engaging in action is depending on your own volition. Then vastu aprapyaiva, that is without realizing that the supreme Brahman, only in that stage, sarvaeva kriyakarakadi vyavaharaha avidya bhuma veva, only in that plane of ignorance, bhumi level or plane, let us say. In that plane of ignorance only, all this vyavahara relating to kriya, karaka, karta and all this vyavahara, all this verbiage, let us say, all this verbiage is only at the level of ignorance. Then we will come back to the original sentence. If you take out the total parenthesis, where is the original line? Akarmanicha karma bhave karma yaha pasyet. So that is the original sentence. You remove that whole parenthesis. Akarmani karma bhave, that is when somebody is just keeping quiet. Karma yaha pasyet. A man may be keeping quiet, but then because he is having that I feeling or ahankara, you have to see karma there. You understood it? Yes. Removing the parenthesis, you link up that original word. Karma bhave karma yaha pasyet. When one he is just keeping quiet, still aham bhava is there, ahamkara is there. So that is why you have to see karma in that. So when one who can see that, sa buddhiman manushyeshu. So he is a buddhiman. Manushyeshu means among the people, he is a buddhiman. Let us read. Sa yuktaha yogi krutsna karma krut samasta karma krut cha sa iti stuyate karma karmanoho itaretara darshi. So itaretara darshi is one who sees the opposite. So when somebody is engaged in action, he sees inaction there. When somebody is not doing anything, he sees action there. So he is a wise man. So he is itaretara darshi. So he is seeing one thing as the other. So he is a wise man. Why? Because he is seeing whether that ahankara is there or not. If there is an ahankara, he is a karta. If there is no ahankara, he is a karta, even if he is just sleeping, keeping quiet. If there is no ahankara, even if he is doing an action, he is not a karta. So that is the thing. He is recognizing, he is just seeing whether that ahankara is there or not. So, sa yuktaha yogi. Yogi means karma yogi. Then krutsna karma krut. Samasta karma krut. He can do any karma and get away. He can do any karma and get away. Any karma means not nishiddha karma. Not nishiddha karma. Any, say, vihita karma, shastra vihita karma he can do. And still he will not be getting the result of that thing. Shastra vihita karma, we are not only referring to, say, yajna and yaga and things like that. We are also referring to this jnani karma. For example, here we are in the context of the saintly kings. All these saintly kings who have to discharge their duties as rulers. As a ruler, he has to punish some bad person, then he has to protect a good person. So all this Raja Dharma is there. Raja Dharma, he has to protect people, and in order to protect people, he may have to fight. When somebody invades, suppose there is an invasion by a neighboring fellow, and then that neighboring king is say torturing our people, let us say. So it is the duty of this king to protect the lives of these people, and then for protecting the lives of these people, he has to fight. So that again is a karma. But then that karma, the result of that karma does not say accrue to him. Even if he kills people, there is no sin in that. So that is the meaning here. And suppose there is a judge. The judge, in the course of his judgment, he gives some death sentence to a person. Suppose there is a terrorist and the judge awards some sort of death sentence to him. And because he is causing the death of a man, this judge is not going to get papam. He is not going to get sin because of that. So that is it. Then krutsna karma krut. He has attained that stature where he is not touched by the fruit of that action. He can do any action. Or krutsna karma, all karma. Krutsna means samasta. Samasta means entire. All karmas he can do, and still he will not be affected by the karma phala. Krutsna karma krut. Iti cha stuyate. Stuyate means he is being praised. He is being complimented. Stuyate, stuti. Stuti, stuti is praise. Stuyate means he is being praised. That is, he is being complimented. He is being commended. Well done. So that is it. Stuyate karma akarmanoho itaretara darshi. One who is seeing that itaretara darshi, one who is able to do, one who is able to see the opposite. So here we have to, so the whole message is, the whole idea or the summary of the whole thing is, karma is something which belongs to the what we call BMI, body, mind, intellect, or body, mind complex, let us say. This body, mind complex. Karma is something which is body, mind complex. And then in our state of ignorance, we are attributing this karma to Atma. Atma is something which is avikriya. Atma is something which is immutable. Atma is something which is immutable, and then it does not undergo any change, and then nothing sticks to it. So to this avikriya Atma, you are attributing some action which is done by this BMI or body mind complex. So that itself is wrong. That is in the plane of ignorance. So the whole message is, you withdraw yourself from that BMI. You be a spectator. You be a sakshi. We have heard the word sakshi also. You be a sakshi to this activity, whatever activity is being done by this body mind complex. So that is what is mentioned in this shloka. Nanu kimidam viruddhamuchyate karmanya karmayah pashyet iti akarmani cha karma iti. So he is again continuing the discussion. Nanu, so there is a small purvapasha. Kimidam viruddhamuchyate. How is it you are saying contradictorily, in a contradictory manner? Kimidam viruddhamuchyate karmani akarmayah pashyet. In karma you do akarma, and then akarmani cha karma. How is it that you are saying this viruddham in a contradictory way? Nahi karma akarma syat. Akarma va karma. Tatra viruddham katham pashyet drashta. Then this is to this point is the say question, the shanka, the doubt. Nahi karma akarma syat. Karma can never become akarma, and then akarma can never become then akarma can never become karma. Akarma va karma. That is, akarma cannot become karma. Tatra viruddham katham pasyat drashta. How can a person see totally opposite thing? So to this point, this purvapasha. Then nanu akarmaiva paramarthatah sat karmavad avabhasate मूढ़दृष्टेर लोकस्य तथा कर्मैव अकर्मवत् तत्र यथाभूत दर्शनार्थम आह भगवान कर्मणि अकर्म यः पश्येत् इत्यादि अतो न विरुद्धम. Okay, he says, the answer reply is nanu akarmaiva paramarthatah sat. That is, this akarma, only 4 minutes. Akarma here refers to the karma which is done by a jnani. Karma which is done by a jnani is actually akarma. Akarmaiva paramarthatah sat. That is, while being while it is really non-action. While it is really non-action, paramarthatah. Paramarthatah means reality, in reality. In reality, whatever actually is non-action, karmavad avabhasate. It is appearing like karma. Avabhasate means it is just appearing like karma. So karma bhasa, I have used one word earlier, karma bhasa. That is, whatever a jnani does, activity is there, but it is not a real activity which is sticking to him. It is just it is a karma abhasa. For in his case, with respect to him, it is only karma bhasa. When to all the onlookers, it may look like a karma. A king Janaka may be doing all these things. A king may be doing, a saintly king, he may be discharging all his duties. So for all the people, it is looking like karma only. But then from his point of view, it is a karma. From his point of view, it is a karma abhasa. Abhasa means a mere appearance. A mere appearance which is just coming and going, but which is not there sticking to him. It is not there sticking to him means because he does not have that feeling of I. Nanu, here nanu does not mean purvapasha. Nanu, akarmaiva paramarthatah sat. That is, the karma which is done by a jnani, which in reality it is an akarma. Paramarthatah akarma. In reality it is akarma. But then, karmavad avabhasate moodhadustehe lokasya. For all these people who are moodhas, moodha means one who is a deluded person. Who are these people? Lokasya, everybody. Everybody is a moodha. Everybody who is not a jnani is a moodha. Except a jnani, only a jnani can see karma in akarma and akarma in karma, isn't it? So for all other people, whatever action which is done by the jnani, which in reality is an akarma, so that is seen by these people as karma. All these moodhas, all these people who are deluded, they cannot see that it is only a karma bhasa. What King Janaka does or what King Rama does is a karma bhasa. These people cannot understand that. These people think that that is all karma. But whereas from his point of view, it is only karma abhasa. Karmavad avabhasate. Moodhadushter lokasya. Tatha. Did we read this? Yeah, we read this. Tatha karmaiva akarmavat. Then likewise, karma iva akarmavat. Then this karma, is what? Tushni masanam. That is here the counter example. The counter example is one who is having that feeling of I. He is just keeping quiet. He may be trying to do some tapas also there. He may be sitting in a jungle and trying to do tapas. But he is still not a jnani. So he is just keeping quiet. But still that is karma only. He is in that karma stage only. Tatha karmaiva akarmavat tatra yathabhuta darshanartham aha bhagavan. Yathabhuta darshanartham. So in order to show things as they are, yathabhuta means as they are. In order to show, in order to explain things as they are, that is why Krishna is saying karmani akarma yah pasyet. So that is why Lord Krishna has said you have to see karma in akarma and akarma in karma. Then Atah na viruddham. So therefore there is nothing contradictory, there is nothing confusing in this. Have you generally broadly followed or not?
Yes.
Okay. Atah na viruddham. Then next line, buddhimatvadi
Buddhimatvadi
upapattescha.
upapattescha.
So buddhimatvadi upapattescha. There is one adjective which has been used here. Sa buddhiman manushyeshu. So he has qualified that man, or he has complimented or praised that person as a buddhiman, one who is having a buddhi, who is a wise man. So that compliment is there, and that compliment also becomes appropriate. So that is what he says. Buddhimatvadi upapattescha. Upapatti means that becomes logical, that is appropriate. Buddhimatvam, whatever has been attributed to him, that buddhimatvam is attributed to him. That is somebody who is an intelligent man. So that say attribution of intelligence is justified. Upapatti means something which is justified, something which is logical, something which is in consonance with the whatever the first line is saying. So buddhi.
Here also you told the same thing. Yanisha, who sees.
Yanisha sarvabhutanam. This is something similar. Yanisha sarvabhutanam. Buddhimatvadi upapattescha. So buddhimatvam etc. also is being justified. That word buddhimatvam, that adjective or that qualifying visheshanam called buddhiman is also being say justified or becomes appropriate. Bodhavyamiti cha yathabhuta darshanam uchyate. So bodhavyam means yathabhuta darshanam. Bodhavya means yathabhuta darshanam means just knowing thing as it is. Yathabhuta darshanam means knowing a thing as it is. A person may be doing a lot of action. A jnani, a king, a saintly king may be doing a lot of action, but that is akarma. So that is yathabhuta darshanam. Another man, an ignorant man, may be sitting in a room, but then he is doing a karma. That karma is what? Sitting quiet is a karma. Sitting quiet itself is a karma. So a person who can see this, he is a buddhiman. So that is as simple as that. Yathabhuta darshanam uchyate. Nacha, is the time over? Okay, then we'll from this Nacha we'll continue in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.